What's good, YouTube? We got a pretty cool topic today. Somebody asked me a pretty good question. They wanted to know kind of what did I think or how did I feel about producers versus a beat maker versus a looper, and what is the difference, or a loop maker. So this one I'm not going to take too much of you guys' time today on this Sunday. I'm actually not feeling the greatest, kind of getting over some chest congestion. Uh, I don't really know what I had going on, but just had a lot of coughing going on. So then I'm gonna keep this one kind of short, simple. So pretty much, he just wanted to know what was the difference and kind of what was my opinions on all of them. Pretty much to just narrow it down as quickly and simply as possible. As a looper or a loop maker is just a person that makes and creates the melodies that you would hear, and then they sell their melodies. So like they'll just sell them as like MP3s or WAV files. I guess I don't do this, so I'm not sure exactly the process. But they pretty much just create the melodies. They may do like four, five, six different melodies all together in one, or they may just do them individually and then send them to you, and you kind of arrange them how you want to. But from what I've seen, pretty much when people try to send me loops, is like somebody's made the melodies that they want to hear and then laid them out and structured it like a song. So you got your intro, hook, verse, then hook, outro, or whatever like that, and it's just the melody, and then you go in and add the clap, hi hat, snares, and all that stuff. Personally, to be honest with you, I hate that. That is a horrible way to collaborate, in my opinion. Um, I would have respect to the person that made the loops and put all that together because they had to actually do their part. But personally, working at doing collabs with other producers and doing loops like that and whatnot, and somebody does the instruments, I hate that. I think that's a horrible way to collab. But aside from the collab aspect of it, it makes sense. I understand why somebody would make some melodies and then sell them and solicit them like that. That's pretty cool. It's smart, very smart idea. I wish I would have thought about it years ago. However, I will say I think people that make loops get the short end of the stick in the music world because you get absolutely no credit essentially. Like you just pretty much sold your loop and that's it. And your loop could be thoughted out to 1,000 other producers and they make hit after hit after hit using your loops, twisting it, contorting it, distorting it, and reversing it, doing all types of stuff. And you might have a loop out there that somebody makes $1 million hit on, and you have no idea that that was even your loop just because you just sold the rights to a loop and they did whatever they wanted with it. And personally, I think if you're the producer or the beat maker that takes that loop and uses it, and then you just add a clap, hi hat, snare, and an 808 and throw it out, I think that's not really producing or putting the beat together. Personally, if you're one of those producers or beat makers that use loops predominantly, I don't really think I don't think that's I don't think you'd be able to call yourself a loop maker or a producer or a beat maker if you're predominantly using loops and all you're adding is just a couple of instruments. Like I can train anybody to do that. I can train a 4 or 5 year old kid to just here hit this hi hat button, hit this clap, and then throw a simple little drum line on it, and then now it's a song. Personally, I'm not a fan of that at all, to be honest with you. And that's actually predominantly what's going on in the music industry, which is why a lot of people sound the same or beat sound the exact same between multiple different producers and artists are starting to sound the same. I personally don't like the aspect of you being a producer or a beat maker and then using predominantly loops and always using other people's loops. But if you notice, like the bigger producers, like your Metro Boomins and your TM88s and 808 Mafias, that's really all they're doing, and that's so that they can pump out quantity versus quality. In my opinion, I don't like that. Then next you obviously have a beat maker. So a beat maker is a person that actually puts the beats together. I would could call myself a beat maker when I'm making the beat, right? Just make my melodies, make my hi hat, snares, put it all together, lay out the beat, structure it, boom, beat maker, right? It's plain Jane, plain and simple. That would be a beat maker. Shouts out to the beat makers, respect to them. Now a producer, so a producer is a little bit different because people have the concept that a producer and a beat maker are the exact same thing, and they're not. A producer is somebody, in my opinion, and other people have said this, and other people in the music world, is a producer sees it through from start to finish, like the whole entire project. So I'll give you an example. I'm a producer. I'm 100% a producer, all the way down to, we'll use the song Dresser, for example, right? A producer does it from start to finish. I literally sat in Young Ben's at his mom's house with him at his kitchen table, made the beat right there in his face. We put it all together, right? Then we went from the kitchen table literally into into his room. Had it set up, had the little mic set up. I stood my stuff right here, it's sitting right here beside me. Had that whole setup, and I recorded him right there in his house. After we recorded, we actually shot two videos to that. The one that actually came out is not the original dresser video. There's actually another one, but I don't know whatever happened to it. And it was a pretty good video too, but it's not the dresser video that you guys see online. But the video was done. It was we arranged that. We talked to the video op guy. It was all set up. I wasn't there for that because he was living in Atlanta. I was living in Spartanburg, South Carolina at the time, going to college, and so we arranged all of that and set it all up. I got his music mix and master because at the time I wasn't really recording. I was just able to record people, and I would just take those vocals, send it to whomever. So I sent it to another engineer, sent it to my manager. They both touched it up, put Dresser together, and that's how that was made. So from start to finish, that's literally how I did. I literally made the beat, recorded it, and you don't necessarily have to make the beat, record it, and put it all together. But a producer, it produces a product. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a product at the end of this. There's some type of production, some type of something that's made. So you may be called a quote unquote producer, but your actually job title is an engineer. But maybe you put people in the same room. Maybe you get a Metro Boomin and put them in the same room as a 21 Savage, and then that's how that relationship starts, or however the case goes. And the engineer records all of this. The producer, being Metro Boomin in this example, makes his beat. They put it all together. The engineer, creates it. He puts it on the page, maybe his post, his whatever his music promotion page is, and gets it promoted. He drops it as like an exclusive. So like you got like I've done it several times. I've had like a DJ Nick exclusive, or you've got a what was that one guy Terra USA exclusive. If everybody remembers Terra USA, that type of stuff. So a producer kind of starts the project and sees it through and finish it, whereas a producer will just make the beat for the project, and whereas the loop maker will make the loop for maybe a producer, or the loop for the engineer, and then the engineer puts it together, or not the engineer, makes a loop for the beat maker. The beat maker makes a beat, whatever the case is. But if you see, it's kind of in stages. So it'd be like loop maker, beat maker, and then you got producer. Because I believe the producer, like I say, sees it from start to finish. So how I made all the songs that I've made and compiled them all into one album and created, two different albums, Wave One and Wave Two. Created the cover arts for them, created the beats. Sometimes I even recorded some of those songs with the artist, put it all together into one big thing, put it out there, promote it, pay for the promotion, do the same thing for like an artist would from start to finish. That is a producer. I produced a product. There was something that was produced at the end of that. That's why I call it a producer. There's some type of product at the end of that. So personally, I would, if it was a ranking or a hierarchy, it'd be producer, beat maker, and then loop maker, in my opinion. And again, with the loop makers, I'm not hating on them. No disrespect to the loop makers. I just think if you're a loop maker, you might as well just make that one extra step to adding, hi hats, claps, and snares and whatnot, and become a beat maker because you'll get more attention, you'll get more credit, more shout out, and that types of deal. Um, Personally, I just like I say, I don't like the fact that a lot of producers and beat makers are taking loops from the small up and coming producers or beat makers or these loop makers, and putting it together, taking their credit and then putting it out there, and under the pretense of, oh, I got you a placement. But it's like all you really did was just give somebody free work, like as a loop, even though you may got paid for it. As a loop maker, you're giving somebody free work, and then they go and take that, and then they're bigger. Like if somebody made loops for me, and then all I did was add a clap, hi hat, and snare, and then I'd send it to an artist, and then we make a hit song, and it blows up, and I bought the loops from you for $100 or something like that, for example, and I made, I don't know, 20, 30, $40,000 or something wild, something like that, off of the residuals from that song. Is it really, does it really make sense to be a loop maker when you could be the person that made that beat, got it to the artist, and same thing. I understand using it excuse me, as a bridge or like a connection to maybe work with artists, but I just have never seen a loop maker be as successful as they could be, in my opinion, by hiding in the background. A loop maker is essentially a ghostwriter. Like Drake has a ghost writers. Do we know Drake more, or do we know the ghost writers more? You see what I'm saying? So personally, I think being a loop maker is going to keep you pushed off into the backside and not give you the attention that you're looking for. So I would make that step to beat maker. And obviously, if you're making beats, you could easily learn how to record. You can learn to engineer. You start putting artists together in the same room, and you start to now you're becoming a producer because you're making things happen, putting it all together and facilitating different things. So that's all I got for you guys today. It's really quick, really short, simple. I just wanted to go over that real quick. Like I said, it go in hierarchy wise: producer, beat maker, looper, and then kind of find your lane, whatever see fit. There's money to be made in each one of these categories. However, I excuse me. However, I do think the producer has more of a leg to stand on just because they see everything from start to finish, and they actually produce something and put something together. And besides being a producer, it's really cool watching it literally all unfold, watching people get excited over something. You put it together, and then now you have that final product. You have that wave one, that wave two, and then you put it out there to the world, and the people enjoy it. So it's really cool doing that. But like I said, I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I'm going to keep this pretty short. That's all I got for you guys today. Follow me on all my social medias. My name will be Milan Makes Beats. If I got it, you find me. If I don't, you won't. And that's really all I got for you guys today. So keep it short and simple. Like the video, and if you don't like it, dislike it. Either which way, just interact with the video so that the algorithm begins to work in my favor. I've noticed that I've gotten a lot more newer subscribers and newer followers, people that aren't familiar with me at all, and the people that are familiar with me but didn't realize that I made YouTube tutorials and things of that nature. So I appreciate. Sorry, guys. So I appreciate the love and support, and just keep showing me some love. Keep hitting the like button. Drop some comments in the comment section, and just let me know what you think. So that's all I got for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll be back here next Sunday. Actually, I am going to start a new thing that I want to add a segment to the page where I give I start looking at different like world topics or different things that I'm kind of interested in as well, because I've had different conversations in the DMs with other artists and other people, and they kind of like talking about different things, so they like hear my input. So they suggested, why don't you try, put some of your input of different things on there, so it's not just strictly just producer stuff and music stuff, just different things like that. So I'll start that here soon, and I've got a name for it, a cool little setup for it, and I'll kind of do some in-depth explanation. One day I'll make a video and kind of explain what I'm talking about, but it'll just be me talking about world topics, things that I like. It could be anything. It may not even be music related at all or anything to do with the underground. But again, that's all I got for you. Keep it short and sweet. Shout out to everybody that's continue to show me some love and support. That's all I got for you guys. Peace.